Good evening. Yeah, welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform, Facebook Live from 3Thinkers Trade Academy. My name is Dele Ayimibo, and I'm continuing the series we've been doing on Nigerian state at billionaires in dollars. And this evening, I'm moving to Ekiti State from Edo State. They are adjoining states, just side by side. I'm in Ekiti State. Ekiti has been to be a very interesting state for me because I grew up in Ekiti actually. Even though I hail from Ondo State, but I grew up in Ekiti State. So I'm very much used to Ekiti State, at least to a large extent, because I've not lived there for... Okay, come to think of it. I think I've lived outside Ekiti State more than I live in Ekiti State. I've lived in Lagos for more than 20 years already. Oh, interesting. It just occurred to me that, look, come to think of it, Ekiti State. I was in Ekiti State for most of I finished secondary school in Ekiti State. I still live in Ekiti State for a while when I was in higher institution, going and coming till eventually I decided not to go again. So I'm very much familiar with Ekiti State. I have a lot of friends there. Quite a number of friends in Ekiti State. And of course, I am very much familiar, and I know that state has potential. Intellectually, very high potential. But we are discussing export, and I'm not talking about export of services. I'm talking about export of goods. And I think Ekiti State also has potential in that regard. I just think Ekiti State have not lived up to its responsibility. I think Ekiti has been fairly unstable. I wish I may continue the last term. Maybe it will have happened. We'll be able to, if I should continue, so that there can be level of continuity in this thing. Instead of 4 years, only 4 years. If I mean, everybody just coming in 4 years. So there's no continuity to be able to continue some of the projects they did. But all of them try to do what they can. But I'm not impressed. Because if a state government is unable to generate income locally, not just on tax, but through other means, then I will not be impressed. They don't have to use my yardstick to measure their success, but I'm just talking as a citizen of Nigeria. I understand the fact that, look, there are so many opportunities in Nigeria, and there's no reason why a state like Ekiti State should be poor. Ekiti State have everything it needs to survive. As I'm checking now, I'm looking at Ekiti State. Ekiti State is one of the states with the lowest income in Nigeria, next to, I think, Osun State. Let me see Osun. Osun is 33. Jigawa is even high. Osun is 33. Last year, the whole of last year, Osun State made 33 billion. The whole of last year. Ekiti is next to that, and Ekiti is 45 billion. But in my opinion, Ekiti can do much more than he's doing. Very much more than he's doing. I don't have any doubt in my mind on that. Like I said, I think the major challenge for many states in generate income locally. Sorry, not just on. I think the major challenge of a state like Ekiti State is the fact that they are unstable because of the government in and out. But more importantly, the same malaise currently being faced by a number of Nigerian states is also plaguing Ekiti State. The fact that the governor just wait and come to think of it, Fahimi was formerly, I remember we as a vice president of Nigerian Association of Metal Exporter, we visited him when he was Minister of Mines and Steel, he's an intelligent man. He has what it takes. He's a doctor, for crying out loud. So I think he can. What I'm not sure of is the issue with our state governors being able to really do something to help the state generate income. So I'm a bit finding it a bit difficult to know why they are not able to do what they need to do for their state to be able to thrive. I'm a bit worried about that. Not because they can't, it's that they are not thinking about it. So let me give an example now. Let me give an example for someone like Ekiti State. Fahimi. Fahimi was the former Minister of Mines and Steel. So all I was expecting is that when he gets back to Ekiti State, they are going to take mining a little bit more serious, because he suggested to the state government that the state government should set up company to mine themselves. Those are one of some of the suggestions. Some of the suggestions of the Ministry of Mines and Steel on how state government can generate money. So I was expecting that the state will do something in that regard. But alas, I'm not saying that. I can't say I know exactly why that has not happened. I can't say I know exactly what that has not happened. All I know is that Ekiti State have what it needs to survive, but Ekiti State has not lived up to its responsibility. Like I said, Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state have everything it needs to survive, but you know what? Nigerian state have not been able to live up to its responsibility. Like I said, I really do not know the reason why, because sometimes when I begin to think about it, I ask myself that could it be that they don't have ideas? I don't think so. The reason I don't think so is, so could it be that I would appreciate if some of the listeners, people listening to the program can give some reasons. Because if you know and you don't do, then I'll count you a wicked person. And a wicked person, because how will you have the opportunity? Yeah, Anororo Muba Mba Madu Abuchi. Thank you very much for your comment. So I really cannot understand the reason why. Sincerely, each time I discuss issue of Nigeria, issue of when I see what we can do and the fact that it's not being done, sometimes I just wonder that, look, is it that these people are just doing deliberately not to help their state? Is it that they don't have ideas? Can someone help us to share this video with them? What excuse will you give not to be able to increase the revenue of your state? Because a state like Ekiti, very low income, and the governors want to, about 16 people were contesting in APC for the governor. Different people want to become governor of that state. Why? A state not making, okay, even the 33 billion is a lot to share, right? Even the is a lot to share, right? Because I don't understand a state that doesn't have money, everybody wants to become governor of the state. You would think that they have ideas of what they want to do. Eventually, Gonfayemi become governor. It's been how many months now? It's been how many months? So I will appreciate. I would like to share this also with my people in Ekiti. Good enough. I have a lot of friends from there. Low income. No, I have a lot of friends from there. So I will share this video with my friends in Ekiti. Definitely. I incidentally also know one or two people in the cabinet. Not maybe some of the people in the cabinet. Maybe I will share with them also. But I think Ekiti State can live up to its expectation. Ekiti State can do much more than it's doing right now. I'm on the website of the state, and the state is confirming that they have cocoa in the state, and that cocoa is in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 local government. They have oil palm in the state, and they said oil palm is spread across the state. Kola nut is in the state, about 7, 8 local government. Plantain is in the state, and plantain is spread across the state. Plantain, I understand. I am on Ekiti State website, and Ekiti State said plantain is spread across the state. I will come back to all that. Cashew nut is in the northern part of the state. Orange is spread across the state. Rubber is in the southern part of the state. Then rice is in 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4, 5 local government. Yam across the state. Cassava across the state. Maize across the state. Beans across the state. Plantain across the state. Let's look at mineral resources. Mineral resources in Ekiti State. Clay is in Oye local government. Tin and cassiterite, Ijeru local government. Columbite, Ijeru. Bauxite, Idosi local government. Foundry sand, Ijeru. Granite is in about 6, 7 local government. Now, so I can see that Ekiti State have potential to be able to maximize their clay, maximize the tin, maximize the columbite, maximize the aluminum or bauxite, and the granite. But you know what? I've done, as usual, an analysis of Ekiti State for cocoa. Is it cocoa? I'm trying to call it up. Yeah, cocoa. Cocoa in Ekiti State. From what the Ekiti State government website is stating, from the state website, cocoa is in a lot of local government. A lot of local government. A lot of local government. So we have used cocoa in our analysis for Ekiti State. Now, let's analyze that cocoa. Because income of Ekiti, let me go and check the debt of Ekiti State. Ekiti debt? What? Ekiti is over almost 150 billion naira with 45 billion income. Abba. No, this is not good enough for Ekiti State. The debt for Ekiti State is huge. You know, when I look at the opportunity in Ekiti State, okay, look at the opportunity in Ekiti State. Before I go into detail of cocoa, Ekiti State produced banana. Banana is $13.7 billion. Ekiti State produced palm oil. Palm oil is $33.2 billion. Ekiti State produced tropical fruit, $12.8 billion. Ekiti State produced cassava, $2.189 billion. Maize, $27.2 billion. And cocoa, $9.3 billion. Now, all Ekiti needs to do is to decide on which of these they want to focus on and take advantage of the opportunity that has to offer them in the state. The state have everything it needs to survive. No doubt about it. Remember, Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state have everything it needs to survive. Nigerian state have only not lived up to its own responsibility. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state have everything it needs to survive. The only challenge in Nigerian state have not lived up to its responsibility. And I am saying that all that a state in Nigeria need to do, is for that state to decide on the agri commodity they want to play in. Having decided on the agri commodity they want to play in, the next thing for the state to do is to form the youth into cooperative. Adewale, I don't think so. Because, some of these state governors, they've been able to, do you know how much they've raised? How can people be owing over 100 billion in debt and then we are thinking they don't know how to raise money? No, I don't think so, Adewale. I think that because some of them are owing over 100 billion. How did they raise it? They went to the capital market and raised money. The capital market and raise money. So I don't think it's because they don't know how to raise the money. And by the way, they can still go ahead to do this thing without necessarily raising money. Start with the people in your state. Buy off the product they have. Buy it off. You know why? If you buy it off and process and export as a state, raise money, fund them to plant more. If you can't get money. Because the model we are saying is that the state government can raise money, create microfinance bank across the state. Having created microfinance bank across the state, microfinance bank branches across the state, and the state government fund youth to go and plant cocoa. Let them take a loan from the cooperative, but the government is the off-taker. Using an SP, so the government form a company with another business. The government form a company with a business. Together, they can now decide that, okay, having formed the company with that business is the one that drives the export of this product. That means the state government is not the one directly involved, but the state government is using the businesses in the state, giving guarantee to their people. Go cultivate this product, we buy. This SPV, this company, is the one that will source for buyer, is the one that will aggregate the product, is the one that will clean, process, bag, ensure the quality is in order, and do the shipment. But the government is using his goodwill to get the people to do it, and the government give the people guarantee that they will pay them when they get paid. You know what this will do? That's why we call it export-driven income generation and job creation in Ekiti State. Export-driven income generation and job creation in Ekiti State. So that means this particular project will create job for the youth and create income for the government. Most governors in Nigeria are doing what I call side hustle. Side hustle. A governor is doing side hustle when all the governor is doing is enabling the people in the state to do business, supporting them in whatever way can, but the governor is not making money directly, it's only waiting for taxes. As long as a governor is waiting for taxes, he's doing side hustle. The governor should do main hustle. Export the product yourself. Get involved. Come to think of it, how does Nigeria generate money now? Nigeria export crude. Working with the oil majors, working with the Shell, Chevron, and the like, have an agreement. Whatever they produce daily, the Nigerian government have a part of it, and that is what Nigerian government is exporting through proxy to make money. So if we are already doing it at national level, why can't the state government do it? Why, for example, can't the state begin to export, banana? Because from what I'm seeing on the Ekiti State website, it said plantain and banana is spread across the state. That means every local government in the state have the capacity to produce banana. Do you know the banana market in the world? Banana market is $13.7 billion market. 13.7 billion. Ekiti State is 45 billion. Let me check the budget. What's the budget of Ekiti State for this year? Ekiti State budget is actually 129 billion. That is times 3. That is the issue I have with a lot of governors. What strategy has the government put in place to do times 3? What strategy has the government put in place to do times 3? I'm looking at 150% max. How can you be doing 300%? How can they say generate 45 billion and want to spend 130 billion? Tell me, are we just presenting the budget for the sake of presenting, just for people to know we are presenting? I don't even know who presented this. When did the government come in? I think it was I think it was this year that the government came in, Abi. Okay, maybe this one must be the budget of Fayoshi. Let's see what Governor Fayemi will present next year. Because I don't understand the rationale behind presenting a budget of 130 billion when your income is 45 billion. Look at the state income now. 45 billion. Out of the 45 billion, what's painful to me on Ekiti is that Ekiti is generating just barely 15%. That means without Abuja, Ekiti cannot survive. And a number of states in Nigeria is like that. Ekiti cannot survive. Without Abuja, Ekiti cannot survive. And not just Ekiti, a lot of states. If you are just listening to the video for the first time, go and check other states. This is my number 12 or 13 state. Ekiti State cannot survive. But Ekiti State can export banana. Because what's the name? $100 million is 36 billion naira. $100 million is 36 billion naira. That means $200 million is actually about 72 billion. So, my take, I think the state can do a lot engaging the youth of the state. Let them go and farm. Give them the seedling. Train them on how to cultivate. And help them with the harvesting, work with them on the harvest to ensure the post-harvest handling is great so that we can have a good product for export. It can be dry or fresh banana or plantain for export. Palm oil. Ekiti State said on this website, the state said oil palm is spread across the state. Do you know the market of palm oil? 33.2 billion. Market of palm oil is 33.2 billion. Remember, Ekiti State budget is $400 million. Ekiti State budget $400 million. Ekiti State can fund its budget fully by focusing on palm oil. Fully. And I will show you the analysis we did that Ekiti State can generate over 130 billion. Ekiti State can generate 130 billion from cocoa each year. Each year. When I get there, I'm going to talk about it. We have an analysis I've done here for Ekiti State. Let me even drop the analysis here for Ekiti State. So Ekiti State is billionaires in dollars. Ekiti have everything needs to survive, but unfortunately, Ekiti State is not able to survive. Why? Because, like I said, what is amusing to me, sincerely, is being able to understand the reason why Ekiti is unable to do or achieve some of the feats I feel Ekiti can achieve. It's just unfortunate because you can begin to ask yourself, so why will Ekiti not be able to? Why will Ekiti not be able to? Because when you look at the potential of Ekiti State, in my opinion, I think Ekiti State have huge potential that are untapped. So if you look at the pineapple plantain that we talked about just now, or the plantain we talked about just now, or the plantain palm oil, then the cocoa we are going to be discussing today. There's no reason why Ekiti State cannot be the best. Ekiti State is billionaires in dollars. Ekiti State have everything it needs to survive. But for one reason or the other, Ekiti State has not lived up to its responsibility. I'm moving around Nigeria, and I'm seeing huge opportunity across Nigeria. And I'm saying, let state government begin to export this product. Let state government engage their citizens to do this job. Why will Ekiti State not be able to do it? What is the challenge, for crying out loud? What is the challenge? Is it that the state does not have the means? I don't think so. Like I said, don't wait. Let the people farm. Give them a guarantee you will buy. Set up a partner to be able to work together. The beauty of a state is that a state can easily enter other country. They can set up a business in that country. They have the money to even pay the salary of the staff in that country. So that we can say, do you know that palm oil demand in Africa? We are now having African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Palm oil in Africa alone is over $5 billion. That is the African demand for palm oil. African demand for palm oil is over $5 billion. African demand for palm oil. So what are we saying? If African demand for palm oil is this huge, so why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult for the state to be able to do this? I strongly believe Ekiti State can become billionaires in dollars. Ekiti State have everything to survive. Unfortunately, the state have not been able to. I am hoping that if Fahmi is able to see this video, probably they will reason with it. I don't think it's the money. I think it's the planning. Because I believe strongly if the state give a guarantee to their members. Yes, Adeosun, yes, you're right. That if you look at the model I always propose, I don't believe the state should run it. The state should set up the business in conjunction with a trading company. The state will have about 80% stake in that business or 90% stake in that business. That trading company will do all the work, but the government will fund the project. The people of the state will produce the product. But this company is going to look for buyer, arrange the logistics and the shipment of the goods. And with that, it becomes very easy. So the government should not run the business. But rather, the government should engage a partner with which to run the business. And let that partner be a citizen, a tax-paying company in Ekiti State. So that the company also can enjoy. And you know what? We are willing to come and do the training for the state free of charge. Pro bono. Let's look at Ekiti State in cocoa. Ekiti State arable land is about 243,000 hectares of land. If you assume a land mass of about a half of the state land in the state is used for cultivation of cocoa. At a yield of 1.5 metric ton per hectare, Ekiti State can generate 182,000 metric ton of cocoa. Research shows us that an hectare of cocoa can be managed with 40,000 naira. With 40,000 naira per hectare, it becomes easier to, with the 50% profit to the state, to the people, the farmers. The state government can spend 4.88 billion naira, and at a 60,000 naira export price, they can spend about 10.98 billion naira for export, 4.8 for 7.3 billion naira for cultivation, 10.98 for export, total of 18 billion. At an export price of $2,300 and a yield of 182,000 metric tons, Ekiti State can generate $420 million in income. If you convert it to naira at the rate of 1,360, you can have 151 billion naira. 151 billion naira minus the cost of 18 billion, we have 133 billion. Ekiti State is generating about 6 billion plus 33 billion, that's about 139 billion. So the state can generate over 135 billion naira in income if you focus on cocoa. It can do the same for palm oil. It can do the same for plantain. It can do the same for other products, not necessarily cocoa, because cocoa is not spread through the state. You can work with banana. Palm is spread across the state. Palm is spread across the state. Then the state also have fruits. Then cassava. Cassava is $2.19 million. Fruit is $12.8 billion. Cassava is $2.19 billion. Maize is 27. If you can produce maize, you can add value to it and export, or work with federal government, or sell locally. Because our price locally is even very expensive. Cocoa beans, 9.35 billion. And I am saying Ekiti State can survive without Abuja. Ekiti State have everything need to survive. Ekiti State really need to do something about over dependence on Abuja. Among all the states in Nigeria, Ekiti is at the top, at the bottom. Very, very low income level in Ekiti State. Just next to Osun. And Osun and Ekiti are just beside each other. Osun is even worse for me because Osun have gold. Osun have a lot of things they can use. What I don't understand is the issue with our governor. I think the major challenge is that many governors come in not with the hope of producing anything for the state. But I think that government has no business in running the business. Let them ease. No, this is the challenge. You know, they don't need to run the business. Is Buhari running the business for us to make money from oil? Buhari, federal government is not running the oil drilling and oil extraction in the Niger Delta. No, it's a private company that is doing it, and it's a private company that is doing the export. But government make the money. That's what I'm saying. So creating an enabling environment, yes, but that I call that side hustle. Create an enabling environment, they will make the money. This government will be waiting for tax, just something on top of profit. That is not going to sustain the state. In a number of developed clients, government buy off what the farmer produce and government sell and make profit. Government buy off what the farmer produce and government sell and make profit. When I say government, I mean a special purpose vehicle. The government should partner with a business in the state who will drive this, and the government fund it and the state. So government have 80% equity in that business. That other business have 20% equity. So government make all the money in the business. That's what I'm saying. So, Mundabushi, please, I'm not saying the government should run the business. I'm saying the government should set up a business, a joint venture with a state and fund that joint venture to be able to generate money that the state government will be able to make profit from. Thank you very much for listening again this evening. My name is Dele Ayimba, this import-export platform, Facebook Live from 3D Academy. We're going to continue tomorrow, and we're going to move on to Enugu State. We are still in the south. Maybe from Monday we'll move on to the north. And I will spend more time in the north next week, definitely. I'll spend more time in the north, definitely. I'm hoping that by the end of upper week, I should be rounding up this and then start a new series entirely. This is already on episode 50 something. And I'm saying, look, Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state average need to survive. There's no reason why any state, and I repeat, there's no reason why any state in Nigeria should be said not to have money. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That there is a state in Nigeria that doesn't have money is a big, big, big lie. It's a big, big lie. The state already is billionaire. The state have not just taken advantage of the opportunity. See you tomorrow as I talk about Enugu State. Bye for now.